A very happy morning and Jai Jagannath to all of you. On a fantastic Saturday morning, we are here to talk about the Indian economy, stock market and the growth, obviously. And with this note, may I call upon to the stage C. Vishnu Kumar Tulsian, immediate past chairman of EIRC, C. Hariram Agrawal, vice chairman EIRC, C. Mayur Agrawal, and I also request the chairman to escort the chief guest for the inaugural session, Shri Sundaraman Ramamurthy, Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, BSE Limited. Thank you so much. Now may I request all the audience here to kindly rise up to the Institute's motto song.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
Now requesting gentlemen on the dais to kindly step down for lighting of the lamp.
तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या तुषारहार धवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना.
Now may I request Chairman EIRC CA Mayur Agrawal for his welcome address.
Very good morning to all the delegates seated on the dais, MD and CEO of Bombay Stock Exchange, Mr. Ramamurthy, Vice Chairman, Eastern India Regional Council, CA Hariram Agrawal, Treasurer, Eastern India Regional Council, CA Vishwaranjan Sutar, Immediate Past Chairman, EIRC, CA Vishnu Tulsian, and dear delegate. On the onset, my gratitude to each one of you to help EIRC on the mission to start each and every program on time. So huge round of applause for the delegate for being there on time and helping us to start our programs on time. Friends, this is the season 4 of Charting Indian Economy, a conclave on capital market, which we started in 2022. After a long gap of 10-11 years, we had a conference, a large conference on capital market at EIRC of ICAI, and looking at the response and feedback from the members. We ensured that we keep on doing and repeating it every year. And this year, again, this is the season 4, where we will be discussing throughout the days various aspects of capital market in India and around the world. I would take this moment to congratulate Bombay Stock Exchange and their representative, because day before yesterday, on 9th of July, BSE has completed 151 years of its presence and existence. From this start beneath a banyan tree, if I am not wrong, till becoming the one of the largest player in India as well as in the world. BSE is contributing largely. Sir will be discussing more about the aspect and contribution of Bombay Stock Exchange. But our gratitude, sir, you take out your time for interaction with our members. While we say the stock exchange and stock market and capital market in India are going into depth, I believe we should also talk about its width. And recently, last year, 2025, SEBI has done a survey, and the survey says that 63% of the Indian household know what stock market is. But only 8.5% of the Indian household holds demat account. And out of that 8.5% Indians holding demat account, more than 40% of the demat accounts are dormant. So then it comes to only 5% of the population of India are currently having a demat account. And there, sir, I believe we chartered accountants comes into role, and we can help the regulators to bridge this gap. While there are more than 19,000 pin codes in the country, chartered accountants are present. We have a presence in more than 17,000 pin codes. We regularly do investor awareness program, financial literacy drive, and if maybe we can come up with an idea and we can discuss it out, how we can do capital market awareness and help the population around the country to know the benefits, how they can invest, because still at times there are that thought that agar hum paisa dalenge, the risk involved, the analysis of risk involved at times push them not to invest and not to come up in the capital market. So I'll take 2 minutes to, though you will be knowing Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, but there are a few things at times that don't go out in media, how when we are working and how we are leading the world in our working these days. ICAI is currently the largest accounting body of the world with around 5,000 members and 12,50,000, around 5 lakh members and 12,50,000 students. We are the world largest accounting body, and it is not only in the quantity we are taking the pride, we are taking the pride in quality, what we are giving to the country and to the world. There was a time when, as the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, as the premier accounting body of India, we used to follow the world, we used to follow whatever new is coming by various accounting body of the world, and what IFAC being the International Federation of Accountants, whatever new IFAC used to come up with, and we used to follow as an accounting body. But last decade, the story has changed. ICAI is coming up with various new things, and the world is following. I'll not go into details of those things. I'll just enlist few of them. UDIN being the one of the most premium unique document identification number. ICAI was the first accounting body in the world to come up with a unique document identification number. Then the other professional body in India and more than 20 countries have started implementing unique document identification number for the certification what their members does. Be it the first body in the world to come up with the forensic accounting standard. We also collaborated with SEBI and helped them to come up with this social stock exchange in the country. We have come up with a concept of AQMM, Audit Quality Maturity Model. I welcome our speaker of the day, Siddharth. Kindly take the seat. Sorry, Sandeep ji. So AQMM is one of the model which ICAI has come up with, Audit Quality Maturity Model, sir. So it is told that audit is a subjective thing, and worldwide institutions were trying to quantify the model and how we can quantify the quality of audit and quality of audit firms. So ICAI has come up with audit quality maturity model where we quantify the quality of audit firms, and thereby it has been mandated for the listed company audit, and gradually it will be mandated for other audits as well. And now we take pride that we are working with more than 7 countries in the world to implement AQMM in their country. So India is growing, Indian capital market is growing, and so ICAI is taking the leap in various things and helping the country to grow. I'll end by making an appeal to my members that this year, while you pay your membership fee, below that there is a column to contribute some amount to Chartered Accountant Benevolent Fund. So it is a fund for the members, for the family members of the demised chartered accountants, where the contributors are only chartered accountants. I request membership at large that this year, when you will be paying your membership fee, kindly contribute whatever amount you like to the Chartered Accountant Benevolent Fund. Once again, happy learning to each one of you. Thank you, everyone.
We have someone today whose illustrious career has spread over 40 years, starting 1987 with State Bank of India, moving to IDBI. The longest haul came with NSE, where 20 years been learning and innovating the strategies, regulatory market, how they foresee the global perspective and strengthening Indian ecosystem. Being head of Bank of America and India's operation, being MD and CEO, winner of Visionary Leadership Award of State Bank of India, winner of CEO of the Year 2025, Outstanding CEO of the Year in the Capital Market 2023 and 24, Shri Ramamurthy, MD and CEO of BSE Limited. Welcome with a thunderous applause to him. I request my chairman, Shri Mayur Agrawal, to welcome Shri Ramamurthy to the audience. Now, may we request Shri Sundaraman Ramamurthy for his address.
Namaskar. Am I audible? At the outset, thanks to ICAI for having me here. And और आप सब लोगों को शनिवार के दिन 5 दिन काम करने के बाद लगता है कि थोड़ा सा सो जाए. बिस्तर से उठना मुश्किल होता है, फिर भी उठ के इधर तक आए हैं हमारी बात सुनने के लिए. इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. जब टॉपिक मैं देख रहा था, बीच बीच में हिंदी में बोलूँगा तो तकलीफ नहीं है ना? आदत हो गया. टॉपिक देख रहा था मैं, क्या बात करूं करके. बच्चे लोग तो कुछ टाइप करके देते हैं. देखा कि चार्टिंग इंडियन इकोनॉमी 4. मैं पूछा ये 4 क्या है? तो मैं बोला था कि ये 4था कॉन्फ्रेंस है, 4 साल से चल रहा है. लेकिन हमारा दिमाग तो और कहीं और दिशा में चला गया. In 2011 in Germany, people said that it's Industrial Revolution 4. When I wanted to find out what is Industrial Revolution 4, they said data-based decisions, connected factories, precision and accuracy, automation, cost efficiency, operational efficiency. They are the theme of इंडस्ट्रियल रेवोल्यूशन 4 दे सेड. थोड़ा बहुत मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था दिस एंटायर रेवोल्यूशन इज टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड. हर चीज़ में टेक्नोलॉजी जुड़ा हुआ है, मना नहीं है. एज स्टॉक एक्सचेंज आई एम ऑल्सो ए फिनटेक कंपनी. तो मुझे ये सोचने में मैं ये मजबूर हो गया कि हमारे लिए एचआर क्या हो सकता है. वेयर डू वी स्टैंड एंड वेयर डू वी गो. मुझे ऐसा लगा कि इट इज जस्ट नॉट टेक्नोलॉजी. I felt India is standing in a room with 4 walls on all the 4 sides. You can call it as an obstacle today or a difficulty today, but if you rise up and you fill this wall and make this as a basement, you will be on the top. ये 4 क्या होता है? This is also 4. To my mind, it came as trade, technology, capital, and demography. In every one of this, I found that there are positives and areas of improvement. First one was trade. Why first was trade? Look at the current global situation. It looks as if the entire globe is sort of put to a ransom by a few forces who have access to all resources, who can prevent others from having access, which has led to a lot of polarization of countries into groups, clearly created a lot of supply chain issues, shortages, price increases, uncertainties, domination of a few dictating terms to others. If you are not 6 feet 2 inches, you have to pay 30% tariff. I can say that. If your weight is less than 60 kilograms, I will charge you some tariff. इतना तक हो गया. So when you are always faced with a constraint, what do? You come above that. That is what is an Indian. The term Bharat, once I asked, the term Bharata is referred to every Indian citizen. What does that mean? Bhayam rataha bharataha. Bha means effulgence, knowledge, illumination. Rataha means oriented towards it. Always steadfastly oriented towards illumination, effulgence, progress. That is an Indian. लोग कहते हैं जुगाड़ करते हो, करना पड़ता है to come up. So if you have an obstacle, you are Bharata, you will come up. So are we doing many things? We are doing many things. Lot of trade agreements are happening. Ways in which this polarized world with domination of few people can be used to our advantage is being thought about. प्रणाम करेंगे लेकिन झुकेंगे नहीं. That is the way in which we are taking it forward. Vinamrata does not mean sar झुक के नीचे गिरना. All these value systems are coming out. What is the underlying key? Key is innovation, self-sufficiency, exploitation of existing resources. क्या रिसोर्स नहीं है इंडिया में? पूरा भारतवर्ष में इतना नेचुरल और ह्यूमन रिसोर्सेस आर देयर. How to exploit it? How to take it to the benefit of Indian community and social communities? All this would require a lot of research. When I was a young boy, I asked, what is research? If you search again and again, it is research. कब तक सर्च करते रहोगे जब तक आपको सत्य नहीं मिलता है. There we have a long way to go. If you look in the order of research spends across the countries on a purchase power parity basis, why that is very important, otherwise you cannot put all the expenditure on the same pedestal. China is in the top with 786 billion. Next is US, next is Japan, next is Germany, next is South Korea, next is United Kingdom. Then comes India. It is in the fourth quartile in terms of expenditure. If you consider it as a part of per capita, not even 1% of GDP. The need for more and more research, more innovation, so that we can exploit the natural resources, we can break the hegemony, we can break the monopolies, and we can get rid of this polarized world in a nice way to our advantage, become important. That is the trade wall. Next wall, technology. India has been very, very well known in terms of advanced thought process, in terms of IT as a service. Service-led IT with our brains and labor parity issues, labor cost parity issues, we were doing extremely well. Now suddenly the world appears to have changed. The world has appeared to have gone towards manufacturing, robotics, semiconductors, artificial intelligence, automation. New terminologies appear to have evolved. Overnight, suddenly, hardware costs and memory costs have gone and hit the roof. One of the people closely known to me online bought a high-end laptop, paid the price. Evening went to take delivery. She was told, take your money back. Why? Cost has gone up. Either you pay the differential or you take your money back. She said that I have already paid and you have already agreed. Yeah, that was on that day's price. But today the price has gone up. Am I exaggerating? No. For our own purposes, we buy a lot of hardware in the form of servers. We got a quotation, immediately processed it, called the board, approved the budget. The next day morning orders were placed, rejected immediately, telling that it was only valid till yesterday evening, today morning you have come at 9 o'clock. Sudden increase in cost because of the memory cost increase, semiconductor increase, sudden enhanced demand. World is no longer IT service-led organization. That brings in lot of fears. If you automate, if there is AI, will there be loss of jobs? Then what happens to all the service-led IT industry in India? On and on. So I consider it as the second wall, which we need to climb up. Third is capital. Economic development cannot happen without significant levels of capital formation. I don't have to tell this to this group. Or chartered accountants, you know far better than me the importance of capital. You also know the importance of how the cost of capital can make or mar things. Today, capital appears to be the most fluid thing. Capital moves from one country to the other as if water is flowing. One day suddenly you find lot of money has come into one country. The next day suddenly it all goes to South Korea and Japan. Why? they manufacture semiconductors. How many? One company. All concentration on a single company or 2-3 companies. The money goes. And the price of that stock, the performance of that country's index, and the returns on this country's index all go and hit the ceiling. Then we start thinking, what happens if more and more of FII outflow happens? One thing very interesting I have seen, when I used to be slightly younger, some time before, a few decades before, if in those days we used to call them as FIIs, not FPIs. If they sneeze, Indian market will have very high fever. If they go to buy Amrit Anjan, we will have severe headache. Not today. Their outflow is not able to create much of a ripple. There is a good amount of domestic institutional flow. But does that mean we don't require FPI flow? No, we are not saying that. We are able to manage a situation. If you have to grow, capital from all sides is required. Capital cannot be coming only from government and few industry houses. It has to be much more democratic, egalitarian, and more people need to be contributing to the capital formation if the country has to grow fast, and we have every capability to grow fast. So that means financialization of household savings, which means financial penetration, कहते हैं ना financial awareness, वित्तीय साक्षरता कहते हैं हिंदी में. वित्तीय साक्षरता को बढ़ाने की बहुत ज़रूरत होता है. Our friend was talking about the role of ICAI in creating financial awareness. More and more of that appears to be importantly coming up. We repeatedly say that we have 25 crores of unique client codes with us. But how many unique clients? Around 13 crores. For a population of ours, 13 crores is na ghar ka, na ghat ka. It's very small. The chair also referred about the survey of SEBI. 63% of the people have some awareness because they have demat account. Around 7-8% get into capital markets. Around 5% trades in mutual funds. Around 4% in equity. It is like trying to make a salty ocean sweet by adding a few drops of honey. There has to be a revolutionary change if we want financial penetration, financial awareness, vittiya saksharata. Lot of efforts are needed. I call this as the third wall. The fourth wall is our demography. The people who are going to make all these three happen. Who are they? Median age of 29. A very old civilization which dates back to Indus and Harappan Valley, but with very young population, just 29 years of median age. 60% of it is in income earning age. The number of investors have quadrupled in the last 5 years. Of that, 60% has come from Tier 2 and Tier 3. India is one of the largest consumers with growing GDP and per capita. All positives of demographics. Let us see areas where we have to work. Chartered accountants alone around 8 to 10,000 come out every year. There are around 15 lakh engineers who get turned out every year. MBAs around 3 lakhs. Around 1.8 lakh PhDs are coming out every year. Sorry, doctors. Around 40,000 PhDs. Around 20 lakh art graduates. 10 lakh science graduates every year. Do we have employment for all of them? Are they all employable? Do they have the skill sets required? They are well educated. Are they well skilled? Right from language, multiple things become barrier. If we don't break this wall will be a wall. It cannot become your basement. So this is how I understand chartering Indian economy for the four walls. What are we doing about it? We are doing a lot. The proactive government setup under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister has been doing a lot. We are aware startups and innovation are very important to feed the manufacturing and also take care of other things. For trade, lot of trade agreements you are seeing are being entered into. In terms of innovation, India launched Startup India earlier with around 10,000 crores as allocation. From around 500 recognized startups today, DPIIT figure is 2,40,000. Big number. The government has currently now approved Startup India Fund of Funds 2 with another 10,000 crore corpus. It is focused on deep tech. This is a new terminology which is evolving. All of us would have heard it. And technology-driven innovation manufacturing. Recently, I was on a Kailash Parikrama Yatra. I just came on July 6th. I crossed borders of 2 countries, or rather 3 countries. From our country, I went into another country. Everywhere I found there are a lot of areas for improvement. And from there, I went into another border crossing. Life is suddenly very different. Scale, innovation, planning are very important. India is also building innovation infrastructure at the grassroots. That's what is most important. I'm sure all of you would have heard about Atal Innovation Mission, Atal Incubation Centers. Country has recognized economy is not built just in boardrooms. Many a times economy gets built in the labs. And from there it becomes a boardroom issue. Schools, incubators, universities, research centers, startup hubs are all very important. And you have a role there. You will be there associated with multiple corporate entities as chartered accountants, as consultants, as part of board. Companies have CSR funds. You should shape up the corporate thought process into thinking about all these areas. Incubators, research, startups, innovation, research and development. we are able to see a lot of changes. In manufacturing, companies are intelligent in automation today. It's not to throw out employment. It is to aid employment, bring precision, accuracy, cost saving, operational efficiency. Machine vision, predictive maintenance, connected factories, data-driven production systems. It is just not lower cost anymore. It is about improved efficiency, precision, resilience, quality, speed. These are becoming very important for us to cross the trade and technology barrier and become a superpower. We talked about semiconductors. It's not that the government is unaware of it. There are a lot of actions being taken. India's semiconductor mission, I am sure all of you would have heard. India is building a semiconductor and display ecosystem with focus on design, manufacturing, assembly, testing, packaging. India Semiconductor Mission 1 had allocated 76,000 crores. As per a recent report of government I was reading yesterday, I find that around 12 semiconductor manufacturing projects with an investment pipeline of 1.64 lakh crores across 6 to 7 states have already been approved. When the CETA was signed between India and UK, there was an event in Mumbai where our country's Prime Minister was with the UK counterpart. I was one of the fortunate few to attend that event, where Honorable Prime Minister made a wonderful comment. For India, AI is just not simply artificial intelligence. It has to be all-inclusive. AI should also mean to us all-inclusive. Sabka saath, sabka vikas, sabka priyas. He said that. It was very interesting to know that the top-level thought process is not for eliminating job using AI, is to make it as all-inclusive towards the economic development of this country. We have achieved a lot in many areas. As the chair said, we have been example in multiple areas. Take the case of digital infrastructure. A very significant portion of digital transactions across the globe passes through your country. You have a powerful engine of inclusive digital infrastructure. 23.2 billion transactions worth around 30 trillion rupees happened just in 1 month, May 2026. That is the greatness of your digital infrastructure. There are around 58 crore Jandan accounts, 3 lakh crores, small amounts coming into Jandan, all inclusive. That is the motto. We have around 40 crore RuPay cards. So these are some of the things which we are doing in the area of technology and trade. What about capital markets? India is one of those countries which can boast about long history of capital markets. We have completed 151 years of stock exchange. That does not mean Indian capital market is 151 year old. Why? Typically, stocks are born first, then stock traders, then they call themselves as brokers. Then they form associations, and those associations then become stock exchange. Stock exchange is 151 year old. Stock in India is not 151 year old. It's around 2 centuries. So you have been in existence for a very long time. And as mentioned before, we used to copy what others are doing. And we used to nicely call it as globally we are benchmarking ourselves. What is the nice word of calling yourself as a copycat? You are benchmarking. Today others are benchmarking with you. Indian capital markets, though so old, the regulators were born just in 1992. When you are born late, you have every reason to run fast to catch up. And when you do that, you not only catch up, you overtake. We all have heard our tortoise and hare story, right? The Indian tortoise became the best hare and started running ahead. Today you have one of the most advanced regulatory system in the area of capital markets in India, thanks to the proactive SEBI. SEBI, Securities Exchange Board of India, does not form regulations by pulling something out of their hat. They co-create regulation in a very consultative process. They form working groups. They also involve brokers into it because they know pretty well, brokers know the problems better. The solutions that come out may require scrutiny from a regulatory perspective. So let them make the suggestion, let the regulator take the decision. Co-creation, involving everybody. Consultation papers, no major decisions are taken unilaterally. Consult the public, not necessarily only the committee members have knowledge. There are others who have knowledge in the public. Take a consultation. So this has helped in leapfrogging. You have an online real-time client-level portfolio-based upfront margining system with an identity-based investing. Every single investor has a demat account, transparency, and therefore he has trust. T+1 settlement. What was the situation before? Settlement may happen and it is called as T plus any time if at all happens. And from there, T+1, भले कोविड हो, सूरज आएगा कि नहीं, फर्क नहीं गिरता है, बारिश हो, जो भी हो, T+1 settlement होते रहेगा and directly to the customer's account. So the customer need not be worried somebody will take away his stock and run away. From just a 2 hour per day trading, where have we come to? Almost from morning till evening we are trading. There is risk management. There is absolute democratization of access to market and information. What was the situation before? People will ask you, you have any tips? Then you used to wonder, are they traders or are they servers asking for a tip? Today no longer needs any tip because every information of corporate is all available in the website. The moment the board of a company takes decision, it has to inform stock exchange and stock exchange has to put it across. Clearly capital markets have come a long way and stock exchanges, particularly BSE with its 151 years, has played a very important role. We realize stock trading is not everybody's cup of tea. We know that there is a concept of portfolio, diversification of risk, diversifiable risk and non-diversifiable, portfolio selection, and portfolio creation requiring minimum amount of money. Mutual funds take care of many of them. There are people who are ready to do for you a portfolio creation and sell small portions of it at affordable cost. So BSE's thought process was, if you have to talk about Vittiya Saksharata and financial inclusion, better to start with mutual funds. It is better there. People already are talking about mutual funds sahi hai. Join the bandwagon and tell people who are new to the market Why don't you put your money in large cap mutual funds of good AMCs? That is easier to find. It is a portfolio with less diversifiable risk you can trust and put across. We created a platform for it. We call it a Star MF. In the last 3.5 years, the volumes to Star MF has quadrupled. Earlier we used to do 2 crore transactions in a month. Today we are doing 8.5 crore transactions per month. Why? Because we are trying to tell people, young kids going to the colleges, instead of trying something and losing money, they can put their money in mutual funds, slowly graduate into analyzing the stocks in that fund and then to more stocks, then into equity, then they can do whatever they want. Nari Shakti. Typically, India used to be very happy. When there is an advertisement, you will find changing nappies, scolding the husband about wrong choice of groundnut oil. There will be a woman in the center stage. Cooking something and impressing the family member, a woman will be there. Buying a car, buying a scooter, doing things which are brave, a man will be centered. Indirectly, we were telling that women are fit for this and not fit for this. Is it true? No. Studies today tell that women are much more emotionally stable when they enter into market. It is very important to have more women everywhere because they bring stability. So we focus on Nari Shakti and inclusion of women and college students in all our programs in a big way. The regulator, and we are doing a lot of investor awareness program. You saw one set of Mane videos. It is one of them. We have an app called Nivesh Mitra. We give you some play currency and we give you real data 6 months old so that you trade in that first to see whether you are capable of trading and then get into the market. Don't get into the market, lose money and blame everybody. We do all that. We conduct around 15,000-16,000 investor seminars covering around 800,000 people every year. Again, a drop of honey into the Indian Ocean to make it sweet. That cannot be the only thing. The most important concern today is cyber fraud. Suddenly my friend forwards me a video where I am talking and advising to buy some stock and sell some stock. He calls me and says, Sundar, I thought you were a friend. You never told me you issued a video. And I told him, if I were that intelligent to tell you which stock to buy, which to sell, why do you think I am working? I'll be making tons of money doing that. No. Naturally, that is a deep fake video and you are a deep embedded idiot to believe that I have been giving this advice and not realizing that it is a cyber fake. We call it as deep fake, deep tech, deep fake, everything is deep. So then I have to immediately lodge a police complaint, FIR, get that video removed. You will get a mail. If you don't click it, you will die. You will click it. What happens? Your account is nil balance. And very nice, good advice. You click it, you are gone. UPI handles information which are not from the correct apps. SEBI is doing a lot. There is a project Sudarshan where the market is scanned for such thing and they are removed. And also, I am sure you are aware, now UPI handles of payment if related to capital market is certified with a double tick by the regulator. The regulator is also involving in something called as Project Jagruk to make Jagrit investor, Jagrit Niveshak. Lots are happening. And also on products, the regulators are talking about corporate bonds, Shashakta Bandhan, so that more capital raising can happen using corporate bonds. SMEs, not subject matter experts, small and medium enterprises. It's very important we all work together in ensuring SMEs are able to come to the market. Why they should come to the market? They contribute significant amount of exports, employment, consumptions, GDP, and whatnot. If they are all small enterprises and continue to be so, where capital formation can happen? Dependence on bank credit alone cannot help. Why? Banks will ask for debt equity ratio. If there is no equity, debt cannot go up. Banks will ask for DSCR. Significant debt will bring down the DSCR. I am sure you know it pretty well. So it is always advisable for the companies to come to the market to raise finance, to make the banking industry grow and themselves grow. West Bengal has a lot of potential. In the current circumstances, I am sure if all of us work together, we can make industrial scenario of West Bengal certainly a better one, and we can help the nation. Lot of stock exchanges themselves are listed. BSE is listed, MCX is listed. More will get listed. For all this, what is the base? Listing is just not an activity. Listing is improving corporate governance. That's exactly where you come. You are involved with multiple listed and unlisted entities. You have a very strong role to play. Trust is the backdrop on which things can be, bedrock on which things can be built. And you are going to ensure the trust by your advice, by your assurance of financial accuracy of statements and following to the rules and requirements of ICAI. You have a big role to play in chartering Indian economy for. As companies adopt AI, robotics, digital platforms, new questions will come. How will you ensure data integrity? If you are not technically savvy, you can be misled. You need to improve your capability. You need capabilities to see what is nicely hiding under fictitious assets and intangible assets. You need to assess what are all the algorithmic risks. You have to ensure sustainability. You have to help in your own way to promote innovation and encourage investors. It is not technology question anymore. It's a governance question, and you have a role to play. I think I have talked a lot. Let me conclude now. India's journey through revolutions 1, 2, 3 have been very different. When Industrial Revolution 1 was happening, you were constrained. You were not on your free will. When 2 happened, you participated, you could not lead. When 3 happened, you found your strength in IT. Now that Revolution 4 is happening, don't you think you need to lead? Don't you think you are already setting examples in multiple areas? Should you not set example here as well? So let us work on the 4 walls which I talked about: trade, technology, capital and demography, and convert them into our strength. World is moving very fast, and you are one of those trusted professionals, and you have a role to chart for India. Thanks for patiently listening to me on this long lecture. And thanks once again to ICAI for providing me this opportunity. Namaskar or Dhanyavad.
We have just a session by none other than our chief guest, Shri Sundaraman Ramamurthy, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, BSE Limited. A big round of applause once again to congratulate him for such a nice deliberation. Sir has explained in detail each and every word of the financial market in detail and in the most simplest way, like version 4, Bharat, research, financial tax literacy, Nari Shakti, development of West Bengal, and many more. Sir, we, the Institute of Chartered Accountants, are taking up the financial and tax literacy at the top of our programs. At different level, we are organizing the programs. Even if we are organizing Nukkad Natak in the corners of the streets without any shelter or just street peoples, we collect the street people and disseminate the knowledge about the financial literacy to them. We had just in the last week itself, in which more than 50 street walkers joined that program, Nukkad Natak. And through that Nukkad Natak, a mix of Hindi, English, Bengali language, which is conveyable to each and every person whosoever is passing through the streets and all. And that way, up to that level, that grassroots level up to, we at the Institute of Chartered Accountants are spreading the financial literacy, sir. And beyond that also, in the regular finance professionals also, we are extending this. So thank you very much for your nice deliberation. Thank you, sir.